Meet Lynn. She is 36 years old, and by every conventional measure, she has won the game. She holds the impressive title, she lives in the immaculate, high-end apartment, and she maintains the socially approved relationship. She has hit every metric of success her family sacrificed for, yet she wakes up every morning feeling hollow. The thrill of accomplishment has been replaced by a heavy, unshakable boredom. She is the ultimate success story on paper, but in reality, she is simply going through the motions of an existence she didn't actually choose. A vacation won't fix this. The exhaustion doesn't come from her workload. It comes from the weight of maintaining a performance. Lynn is experiencing a quiet terror of her own life. She is trapped in a state of constant rehearsal, worried that if she stops moving, the emptiness will consume her. It raises a difficult question. Why does winning the culturally approved game of life feel exactly like losing your own identity? Lynn is caught in an invisible cage, built from 10 distinct traps. By breaking down these hidden mechanisms, we can see why doing everything right is exactly what keeps so many people stuck. The foundation of this cage begins early. Trap 1 is the fawn response. As a child, Lynn learned that compliance was the currency required to secure love and safety. Today, that childhood survival strategy operates as extreme conflict avoidance. Her niceness is a deeply ingrained habit of people-pleasing, ensuring no one around her is ever upset. This feeds into Trap 2, the unworthiness wound. Without an internal sense of value, she is forced to outsource her validation. She chases the next promotion or praise from her boss, treating external achievements as a temporary patch for a lack of internal self-love. Trap 3 is the outdated identity. 2 decades ago, she was assigned labels like the quiet overachiever and the responsible one. These 3 childhood scripts formed the base of her cage. The hyper-responsibility and the flawless execution aren't personality traits. They are survival mechanisms, meticulously preserved to keep the adult Lynn safe from the exact same disapproval she feared as a child. Look at this flowchart. This is Trap 4, the perfect life checklist. It represents a rigid sequence of socially prescribed milestones: graduate, build a career, get married. But measuring your worth against this timeline leads to a dead end of expectations, and the pressure to follow it is intense because of Trap 5, the ancestral duty conflict. Lynn feels immense guilt even considering her own joy. When her ancestors sacrificed their livelihoods and comfort to survive, prioritizing her own personal happiness feels like a betrayal of their struggle. To manage this guilt, she employs Trap 6, the scarcity mindset, wearing it as a mask of practicality. She denies herself spontaneous experiences because she strictly filters every decision through a lens of return on investment. Contrast that constant calculation with this scene. In ancient philosophies, contentment is found in simplicity, the quiet observation of water falling into a stone basin. Lynn has lost this capacity. She cannot allow herself to simply be without producing. These cultural frameworks act as the load-bearing walls of her prison. They successfully disguise her fears as responsible, practical life choices. With the walls in place, the paralysis sets in. Trap 7 is the "I'll be happy when" myth. It is a cycle of deferred living. She convinces herself that her actual life will finally begin once she hits the next salary tier, continuously pushing the horizon of satisfaction further away. Trap 8 holds her in that cycle, the fear of judgment. Driven by the worry of embarrassing her family, she trims away her unique quirks and spontaneous urges, shrinking her personality to appear predictable to the outside world. When she does recognize the need to break out, she falls into Trap 9, the readiness illusion. She tells herself she will make a change as soon as she feels ready. But waiting for total readiness is a neurological defense mechanism. It is a clever way of avoiding the potential shame of a mistake, which leads to the final lock on the cage, Trap 10, the Jonah syndrome. She is secretly terrified of her own potential. Living fully requires navigating an unpredictable reality, and she finds the chaos of an authentic life far more frightening than the safety of a miserable one. Lynn is exhausted because she is trying to force her life to conform to a pre-packaged inherited meaning. Albert Camus called this the absurd, the tension between our search for order and the chaos of the world. To find peace, he believed we have to stop trying to control every outcome and accept that existence is inherently messy. By refusing to face that messiness, Lynn's comfort zone ceases to be a sanctuary. It becomes a state of paralysis, designed to prevent her from taking the risks she needs to finally feel alive. The flawless resume, the pristine apartment, the constant agreeability, they are armor. Lynn's perfect life is a survival strategy, built layer by layer to protect the scared child she used to be. But the strategies that kept her safe in the past are the barriers suffocating her today. To move forward, she has to stop treating uncertainty as an enemy and recognize it as the only environment where she can actually grow. So, how do you dismantle a cage built from your own family history without destroying your entire life in the process? When the rules of success have driven a nail into your head, what are the steps to pull it out? We have identified the locks. Now we have to look at the key. Subscribe to the channel because in part 2, we are going to lay out the step-by-step plan to finally break free.